ending us off here, just kind of got some little grab baggy, little extraneous information that is, I think, useful, and I want to get out there that I think also will be helpful for you. So other policies, other stuff. The big one is calculators. You're going to need a calculator for the tests. You're generally going to need a calculator for at home. You can use your phone, Google. I don't care what you use to do calculations at home, but you're going to need one for the test. So you're going to need a calculator that can do scientific notation and logarithms on the test. Most scientific calculators will work. If you bring a calculator to lab, I'm happy to look at it with you if you have any questions about how to use it. But I would generally, it's generally a good idea. If you ask me on the day of the test, I've seen a lot of calculators. I can figure most calculators out. But if you show me a calculator on the day of the test, like how do I use this? I may not be able to figure it out. So I'd encourage you to talk to me beforehand. If you have any questions about like, will this calculator work? If you want to send me some Amazon links or something like that, I'm more than happy to look at those as well. You do not need anything fancy. Most scientific calculators will work, scientific notation, and you will need logarithms. Drop deadline is April 8th. That is set by the school. I cannot drop it from the class. I'm not going to force anyone to drop. I'm never going to encourage anyone to drop, but I am happy to talk to anyone ever about your standing in the class. Your grades will update, and I'll give you tools that you can do it on your own. But if you just want to talk about like, hey, what do you think? How can I get X grade in the class? If you want to get an A, let me know. We can talk. Was that likely? You want to get a C, D, whatever it is you're looking for. I'm happy to kind of let you know where you stand, where you go in class, but I cannot drop you. If you just stop completing assignments, you're not necessarily guaranteed to fail. You might get a D or a C depending on how well you've done, but you will just get whatever grade you get if you do not drop class by April 8th. If you stick after April 8th, you're in it for the long haul. If you have any questions beforehand, if you are thinking of dropping, I'm always happy to talk. If you just want to do it without talking to me, it's okay. But I do always like to talk, because sometimes people have a more pessimistic view than is deserved. And so I'm always happy to be like, hey, no, like, yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Or also sometimes there's other things in your life that you kind of know more about the rest of your situation, whether or not you can put in the work you want to put in. But happy to always talk. But again, I cannot drop it from the class. We're going on 3 years since I've been able to do that. Before my time, when I got here, that was when it was first taken away from instructors to drop students. I cannot drop it from the class. Academic honesty. I generally expect the work you turn in to be your own. The big place where this comes up is labs. You are going to be working as a group on the lab. So obviously in the lab room, you're working together, and I want everyone to do that. But on things like the post labs, that you should be turning in your own response. I am happy and more than okay with you working in groups or working with other people in the class, asking questions of your partners or other students about participation questions, about homework, about labs. There's the question answer discussion boards where you can drop questions. I want you to be engaging with each other, but you should be turning in your own response. I don't want copy pastes. That's a problem. It needs to be your own answers and your own work. I don't want two people to be turning in the same exact post lab. That's not going to work. You can talk, and if you're answering, obviously the answers are going to be similar because you did a similar lab. You're analyzing things together, but it needs to be in your own words. You need to be writing your own response, not just copying off of each other, not writing one response and turning it in as a group. If I think there's been any academic dishonesty, I will reach out to the people involved. There's a college approved process where we go through this. I think you cheated on this. I think there was not necessarily cheating, but I think you did academics on. I think you turned in work that was not your own, whether or not that was on purpose or on accident. Kind of the standard process to get a 0 on the assignment. Low stakes. This is not. There was some dishonesty here. You don't get credit for it. And then we can escalate beyond that if needed. If you disagree that you did it, or there's a process here. But want to put out here, I'm more than happy with you working together on things. That's totally fine. I encourage that. Your answers need to be your own. You should not all be turning in the same work. I want everyone to turn in their own response, talking about things. How do we think about these problems? What do these questions mean? What are the results that we gathered? But I want you to be putting those answers into your own words, coming up with your own response, not just copy pasting answers. Your lab group needs to have its own post labs. Finally, campus resources, Office 365. This is kind of forced on you now. In your tuition dollars, you're paying for Office 365 and you're paying for Grammarly. So Word, Excel, PowerPoint, you're going to probably want to get PowerPoint for this class. We'll use Excel. We'll use Word kind of passively, PowerPoint more actively. Grammarly is kind of like a super spell check that plugs into any of your web browsers, any word editing software that you're using, or document editing software. These are programs that you're paying for. There's links in the syllabus. If you go to the college website, if you just Google Lee College Grammarly, you can get links to that as well. Download that. I encourage you. It will improve your writing. You're going to be writing. Your post labs are a bunch of writing in this class. It'll help it. It'll help you get better writing in other classes. It kind of helps make your writing more efficient, more informative, more communicative, which is really helpful. Access Center Disability Services, Ms. Kaylee Villanueva. I am more than happy to give extra time on tests if you need to go through the testing center. If you need any other accommodation, I want to help you and try to make things as accessible as possible passively, and I'm happy to do anything extra, but I need documentation from you. I need you to reach out to the Access Center Disability Service Office, Ms. Kaylee Villanueva, and then they will give documentation to me. You can send me documentation, but I need you to do that. It does not passively happen. If you do not request an accommodation for this class, it will not be given to you. I need that documentation from Lee College, not from another school, high school, your work, the military, whatever it is. I need it from Lee College. It's very easy. It's a very fast process once you get it set up, but day of the test, it's not that fast. Week of the test, we can get it set up, but day of the test, it's not that fast. Other campus resources, basically everything is, as far as I know, back up and running on campus. A lot of the remote options that were generated when campus was closed or things were closed on campus are still available. And I encourage you, if you want to do tutoring, you can do remote and in-person tutoring. At this point in time, it's not tutoring, but most of the chemistry tutors, I think there's 3 chemistry tutors, 2 of them took this class with me. So I know that they know what they're talking about. I know they know what I want. So I encourage you to take advantage of that. The computer labs on campus, this class is all going to be run through Blackboard. I encourage you to do that. You can come just use Wi-Fi. This in parking lot's still left over. I need to update this slide. There's free Wi-Fi on campus, or you're paying for it. So if you're needing to use the internet, it's very fast. If you're trying to do anything, you want to pre-download videos for watching later at home. If you have slower internet at home or anything like that, you can get loaner computers. All sorts of resources. There's plenty of things. I'll be posting some things to Blackboard in the announcements. There's also things that the college is sending out to your Lee College email, so make sure you're checking your email. There's plenty of resources that you're already paying for in your tuition dollars. Otherwise, that's it. Every video will always end with a slide that looks like this, that shows all of the due dates for the week. I try to make it as kind of streamlined as possible. Everything is there. This is due Friday. Basically what you got to do, participations, the homeworks, the lab, everything like that. The most pressing things are you have the midweek homework is due Wednesday, and also on Wednesday at 1 p.m. you need to come to campus wearing closed-toed shoes and bring your goggles. But otherwise, that's it. That is it for the class. If you have any questions, hopefully the whole idea. There's a lot of information across these kind of course info videos. The idea is that they're kind of bite-sized. They're themed. You can come back and watch them if you want, or hopefully you remember where you can find additional information about these things. That course information folder at the bottom of the main sheet, course overview, course schedule. There's some great information in there, how to access lecture, all that sort of fun stuff. If you have any questions about anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is down there. Shoot me an email, call, text. Come to my office, Gym 112. It's the building with the pool. But otherwise, that is going to do it. Now, there are some videos about chemistry here you want to watch, chemistry about molecules, some fun stuff, chapter 10 getting into. Otherwise, welcome to the class. Hope you enjoy.